At least it wasn't Jack and Jill.
Hey guys, welcome to the Lion's Honor. I am your co-host, Carrie Night Gaming. Call me Parker, Cardi Cage, or anything of the sort. And we have again.
Hey, the Blue Couch Productions. I'm back for another one of these.
Why?
Great start. Great start.
We were just talking about Netflix and its queries.
Yeah. If you came off the last episode and was able to tolerate the amount of dick in there, I can promise you this one won't be as gay. So here we are.
Now we're just gonna talk about pussy the whole time.
Yeah. You gotta get some man candy in there.
Considering he's one of them. Now, Fuller House isn't that bad.
Why are you gonna hit me with the Fuller House?
Now, I was thinking about it this entire time. Like, Fuller House isn't terrible. Like, if you liked Full House, Fuller House isn't that bad.
Well, like, let's first establish that Full House isn't a good show. All right, let's
what?
Let's establish that first, right?
You mean lies? What are you talking about? Full House.
In terms of like objective good TV, Full House is not near the top of my list.
Full House
and
is
I stayed
so
up on Nick at Night watching that shit every night with no nostalgia to it whatsoever. And I'm like, this can be garbage sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but they always have cute life lessons. It was a good show.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's like the sappy shit when they play the sad music and the fucking Bob Saget's like, look, mommy's dead, but you need to still go to preschool or whatever. I'm like,
mommy's
here's my summary of Full House, right? Like, California music, Joey comes in, LOL cartoon reference, and Jesse's like, haha, women, and then Bob Saget's like, moral lesson, the end. And that's an episode of Full House.
It was just like, so what you're saying is, hi, I'm the Woody the Woodchuck. Have mercy. Your mommy's dead. Go to preschool.
Yeah, that's an episode of Full House. Every time. And they made like 10 seasons of that garbage.
Oh my God.
How did that show last so long? All right,
because it wasn't terrible.
You wanna talk to me about like good sitcoms? Hit me up with Family Matters. I'm okay with that. Fresh Prince, I'm okay with.
So you like those?
I'm even okay with Friends. I can stand Friends, tolerate Friends.
I mean, are we talking about family sitcoms? No. Because like Full House was a good family sitcom because it was for everybody, but Friends isn't a family sitcom. That's like
Family Matters fits.
Yeah, it's right in the middle.
Married Sabrina, the Teenage Witch is okay.
That was tight. But no, you gotta consider that, like...
It went on Nick at Night, so I didn't watch
it. Friends was, aside from a great show, Friends was a late night sitcom. Just like Fresh Prince, actually. Fresh Prince was like that, too.
A little bit late
But we kind of forget that. Like, you know, like 10 o'clock. Not like, oh, it's so raunchy that everybody's asleep. It's more like... it's 10 o'clock and the kiddies are in bed, so you can hear those sexy jokes.
Sure.
Like,
what about George Lopez? You put that in the family sitcom category?
I don't know, because I grew up watching that.
Man. Some of those episodes are messed up. Like
I thought
they
that
tackle
Mario
a lot
Lopez
of
and George Lopez were related because their last names were the same.
You're right. You're right. Anyway, what were you gonna say about Fuller House? We got off topic.
It's
here.
not bad though, because like I was a big fan of Full House when I grew up, and not even like, I don't even think I can say when I grew up because nostalgia kind of ends after you gain full consciousness of yourself.
Sure.
Like, you can watch something until you're maybe 6. I'm sorry, until you can really remember something and appreciate it, there'll be nostalgia behind
it. Fuck me. I had all the time in the world to kill you and I messed it up.
You really did. Like, growing up with Dragon Ball for me, like, I've had it ever since I was a little kid, so I can feel that nostalgia behind it. But, or like Star Wars.
Right.
But I was 11 or 12 when I was watching Full House. Like,
that's probably the right age to see it.
I was watching it on Nick at Night, so I saw it basically with... I mean, I knew Zach back then, so you know I wasn't innocent anymore.
Sure.
So it wasn't really childhood nostalgia. But if you ever really liked Full House, you're gonna like Fuller House. It's not bad. It's actually decent and kind of funny.
You know what, recently, an example of my nostalgia fading was me and Zach were like, we should watch a movie. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to watch? And he goes through a bunch of them, and he's like, how about Adam Sandler's Click? And I'm like, oh, I used to love that movie as a kid or whatever. I remember watching it and I thought it was so funny. Like, sure, let's watch it. I get to that end of that movie. It's a solid 2 out of 10. A garbage film with like an okay concept. And I'm like, Zach, you ruined it. You ruined my nostalgia. I hate that movie now. Yeah.
I mean, like, because Adam Sandler's last good movie was Blended.
At least it wasn't Jack and Jill.
No, it was right after Jack and Jill. and of course, his last good movie had to be with Drew Barrymore. Because for some reason, he's always trying to fuck her on film.
You trying to get it?
I mean, I'd fuck Drew Barrymore, but...
I mean, we all would. All right, let's just get that out of the way.
The real question is, would you stick your dick in Famous?
Find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I will, in Fuller House's favor, I will say, at least it wasn't quite the clusterfuck as the Roseanne reboot ended up being.
Oh, God.
Like, at least Fuller House is still
I never liked
having
Roseanne
seasons.
because I'm black.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
I did like Last Man Standing. A fair amount. I don't know why I loved that show, but
is that the Tim Allen?
Yeah, that was Tim Allen's last sitcom.
Okay.
And
I never watched Home Improvement, so.
I never watched Home Improvement either.
Mm. They didn't put it on Nick at Night. That's why. All my sitcom knowledge is from Nick at Night.
That's so true, though.
Yeah.
Was How I Met Your Mother on Nick at Night?
They have it on there now, I believe.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because it just went off, right?
Yeah.
Like How I Met Your Mother is one of my favorite sitcoms, and that '70s show was on Nick at Night. Yeah.
That's true.
All of my favorite sitcoms were on Nick at Night.
They keep changing the schedule though. Like they'll take shows off and add new ones on.
I mean, I think they try to finish them.
Yeah, but they'll replay like whole series runs over the course of like several months and then like restart it again.
Yeah. I mean,
but the weird part is like they don't play like all of the episodes of that '70s show or George Lopez, just the ones you remember. Basically, like they always find a way to get the nostalgic episodes playing, but never the okay
fucked
ones.
Up weird ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
The weird thing about that '70s show though is it's actually the only sitcom that I loved that show for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put a bit of nostalgia factor there, but the problem is, I didn't want to finish it because I knew that like that last season was shitty-ish, and I didn't want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to give away the one bit of me that was left in that show because of how much I loved it. And
fair enough.
This year was the year I actually finally finished that '70s show, and it was the year I realized that '70s show was actually my favorite sitcom ever, because of the ending it had broke my heart. And made
endings, yeah.
It made me feel so whole too, because like I was so worried, and I was like, "Well, you've seen it, right?"
Yeah, I have a long time ago.
So I was like, "Eric's gonna come back, right? Eric's gonna come back, right? He always comes back." Kitty literally just said, "Oh, he's gonna show up right here. You guys are gonna talk, and you're gonna lay on that car like you always do, and kiss and make up." And
right.
3 minutes are left in the episode of the last episode, and I'm crying. I'm like, "Where's Eric? Eric's not." And like she breaks up with new guy, what's his face, and I realized that at that moment I kind of liked new guy, what's his face. I just don't like if he was just there, I wouldn't care. But him replacing Eric hurt. What, new guy, what's his face?
Yeah, like you don't even remember the name at all.
Nope, I'd be very comfortable with him just being in the show, but he didn't have to replace Eric. Like he could join the gang, and I'd be okay with that. But he's not replacing my main man. And then Eric comes and they talk, and I'm like, oh no, they're not going to do it, are they? And then they do. They make up and they kiss and everything's okay. And I actually read into it and found out that the creators left it ambiguous, but in canon, they got back together right after that.
In canon? There's
yes.
a That 70s Show canon?
In the That 70s canon.
Oh god.
But most importantly, the way that they end it is with like the new year hitting 1980.
Yeah, that's the part I remember. Like they have the last seconds of 79.
And it ends like the end credits. I don't know why it took me so long to say that. The end credits were the end credits of the first episode of when they drive back from the concert. Yeah. The one where Lowrider plays, and that's the one where Donna and Eric kiss for the first time, and that gives the will they won't they thing. That was like it was the perfect run through, and it took me 10 years to finish that 70s show, and
But you finally did it.
I can't put it down in nostalgia because I watched that entire show again that year, and I lost it, and I realized how much I love that show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that got so deep.
I still remember the first time I saw the Friends finale.
Ooh.
After like watching the whole like series run through on Nick at Night and being like, oh, this is like the last one. Like, holy shit. I've heard people talk about how good of a finale it is. I can actually see it now. And that fucking like, let me get off the plane, phone shuts.
I got off the plane.
I got off the plane, everybody loses their goddamn mind. And I'm like, yeah, it had to end this way. If they fucking did anything else, they would have been like crucified. But they ended in such a nice, wholesome way that I'm like, yeah.
I finished Friends
fine.
with Sydney, actually, because we watched it together.
Oh, wow. So you saw everything.
Yeah, and I wasn't as into it as I
Really?
wanted to be. Yeah, I don't know. I loved Friends. I really did. I thought it was a great show. I don't know why, but I don't feel like I liked the finale that much.
Really?
Because
Well, I will say that
it was
like
a bit underwhelming.
it very much is like ending that Ross and Rachel conflict, if you will.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the characters feel like they don't have as much to do, but to be all like sappy and mopey until they, all go to the coffee shop at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And if like you're into the Ross and Rachel stuff, that's fine. But otherwise, you don't get a very conclusive view on everybody else,
Yeah.
especially fucking Joey. Joey's just like left out to dry.
Well,
as
no,
far
the
as what
thing that I don't
he's doing.
understand is that Joey gets his own show not too long after that as a spinoff. It was shitty,
Yeah, and it bombed.
but he does. We need to remember that it does.
Right, sure.
And most importantly, one of the things that Chandler said a bunch of times in the runtime of Friends is that after, they decided that they were going to move, was that there's an upstairs room. We're not leaving Joey. So why the hell did Joey feel the need to leave himself?
I don't know.
Why we can't get rid of the most helpless character?
All right. I feel like he didn't have a conclusive end to him.
That's fair.
Or, because like Ross and Rachel get together, Monica and Chandler are together, Phoebe's happy in a relationship, whatever, married.
Paul Rudd,
Paul fucking Rudd, of all people.
and Paul Rudd's character is fucking amazing, and I love him.
I like him too. He's great.
Shit. I mean, Sydney hated that ending.
Really?
Because she was
That's fascinating.
she was like, she's not gonna get off the plane. She's not gonna get off the plane. She's gonna get off the plane. I got off the plane. She's like, God, and she's so irritated. And I'm like, I don't see the problem. And he was like,
Yeah.
She got off the plane. And
She was going to.
I know, but obviously.
From the beginning, yeah. They weren't gonna end it any other way.
Nah.
But it is left a little bit ambiguous of like if they like get married or what they do after that, because they're just back in a relationship again, and that could end like next second for all we know.
Yeah. You know what really pissed me off?
What?
The ending of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, we can talk about that. We might need to do that next episode though, because we are going in the sitcom hole.
All right, so.
Next time.
All right, guys. So we're gonna do an official ending here, actually.
Yeah.
So, do you wanna lead it out? Because I do have a last thing to say to the fans, but hit us up with that outro. Let's go.
Yeah, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. We got more gaming content,
We do.
more combinations of people, new videos every day. Check out me and Parker. Links in the description below. Hit him with your thing.
All right. So, most importantly, press that little notification button. I'm trying to move that into my outro thing because I've noticed that we need that because we're smaller YouTubers, so you're not going to see us in your recommended at all. But I do hope
True.
you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and comment, subscribe if you want to. And this has been the Lion's Honor Gaming.